Good afternoon, grinders. This is your NFL SimLabs analysis for Thursday, October 16th. I'm Jordan Cooper, aka BlenderHD. BlenderHD, if you want to follow me on Twitter, hit that thumbs up button on your way in the door. You know how much I appreciate the thumbs, the like button, the subscribe button if you're new here, and the notification bell to always know when we go live on the channel. We got a pre-lock show today for Thursday night football, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Tune into that for the picks, the plays, all the inactives, the updates, everything that's going on. But it's early in the afternoon, taking a look at Thursday night football. I don't know how great of a game this is going to be. The Steelers at the Bengals. Steelers are actually a road favorite. They're 5.5-point favorites at Cincinnati. Steelers have a 25-point implied team total. The Bengals 19.5-point implied team total. But it should be a pretty decent showdown slate. Highest projected player on the slate is Jamar Chase at 12K, even though on the underdog. The thing is that, the Steelers, not necessarily the most productive team offensively, and the ball could be kind of spread around a bit. We do have DK Metcalf at 10.4K. He's one of the higher projected players, right? Because we have Aaron Rodgers as the highest projected Steelers player. And it's not like we have Aaron Rodgers, 350 yards, 14 touchdowns, 800 rushing yards. No, just that the ball gets spread around a bit, right? Because you got like Jalen Warren at 8,400. You got Kenny Gainwell, 6,400. Then you got Jonnu Smith at 4K, Freiermuth at 3K. Even Caleb Johnson and Darnell Washington and Roman Wilson and Scotty Miller and Ben Skromenik even has a projection because Aaron Rodgers has no problem he can throw to 8 different guys in this game. So there's more options as far as lineup construction is concerned here. And the Bengals is a lot more condensed, right? You got Chase, you got Higgins at 10K, you got Chase Brown at 8K. And then it kind of just like dies off from there, right? Because you got like Noah Fant at 3,600, right? Because there's no Gesicki tonight, right? So Noah Fant will probably have a much more prominent role today. And then obviously some cheapies. Yoshevitz at 2,800. Even like Drew Sample, who is essentially, does he catch a touchdown or something? Like it's not like he's going to do that much. And then you got the kickers and the defenses, which I think may be fairly popular. Boswell and McPherson in the 5K. Steelers defense 5,800. Bengals defense 3,200. So a lot of constructions. I mean, obviously we're going to see a lot of Jamar Chase. Probably he's the highest mean projected player by 2 points clear, but he's 12K. And I think maybe T Higgins may be the most overpriced at 10K. So maybe he's not going to come in as much, but let's run 150 lineups in SimLabs, large field contest, medium results range, and see what's going on. I mean, according to Optimal, the overview here, as far as captain is concerned, we have T Higgins and Kenneth Gainwell as the under-owned captains, which kind of makes sense. You're going to give up a lot of projection by making them your captain. And then over-owned is like, obviously, Jamar Chase, Jalen Warren, Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, but not by much. Like 1.6, 1.4, minus 1.5. Like it's not like minus 1.9 is like minus 2, which really stands for if he's optimal 14% of the time, he's going to be owned in the captain at 16%. So it isn't like that dramatic of a difference. These bars aren't like that ridiculous, right? We look at the flex position. Right, we have Jalen Warren is over-owned and Joe Flacco is under-owned. Joe Flacco actually has a pretty decent projection at 9,400. Because we pretty much expect the Steelers to be up and the Bengals having to pass. All right, so let's run 150 lineups. Let's see what comes up in the first 150 set. Remember, you don't have to, even if you're playing 1, 3, 2, 5 lineups, 10 lineups, SimLabs is not just for people that build 150 lineups. You can build 150 lineups, but you can also mix and match. I use it as a research tool, right? Especially on my phone. I'm typically out and about at night, and I'll listen to the pre-lock show, open up my phone, SimLabs, the iOS. We have a dedicated app for it, that has all the functionality here outside of like downloading lineups and stuff like that, which you're not going to do on your phone anyway. And I pick and choose, right? Because I could save lineups. I could take a look at different constructions and go, okay, I want to play a Joe Flacco captain lineup. What do these lineups look like? And then I pick one. Then I go, oh, I want to play this type of line. I want to play this type of construction. I don't want to play this guy in the captain spot. I'm just making the executive decision. I can see what lineups fit those types of constructions and play accordingly. But you could also like run 150, take a look at exposures here. That's here in the captain spot. Well, a lot of Jaylen Warren captain. Literally getting no Aaron Rodgers captain in this 150 set. No Aaron Rodgers captain, which is okay. Warren captain, obviously Jamar Chase in the captain spot. And we still get some. Oh, no, we do get some. We got one lineup. I mean, we could take a look at that. I mean, what do Aaron Rodgers captain lineups do look like? But I just want to get a sense of like, okay, it seems like Jaylen Warren from an ownership versus projection versus construction perspective, like this first one right here. So he played Chase and Flacco in the flex, which makes sense. Then Warren, Pittsburgh defense, Chris Boswell, and Jonnu Smith. So basically, this lineup is kind of saying, and he's leaving 800 on the table, so you're not going to be as duped. But basically, it's saying that Warren rushes the ball, gets 2 touchdowns and whatever, and the Steelers defense gets a pick 6. Boswell has 3 field goals. Jonnu Smith catches a touchdown, and Flacco and Chase, whatever. Right on the way back. Right, the Steelers score 3-4 touchdowns. It mostly goes 1 through Jonnu Smith, 2 through Warren, 1 through the defense, and there you go. You're done. Right, very similar lineup here, right? You play Warren and Gainwell together. That won't be that popular of a combination when you play 2 running backs from the same team together. But yeah, Warren, Gainwell, Boswell, then Flacco, Chase, Fant. Flacco, Chase, Fant in this one also with Aaron Rodgers, Jaylen Warren, and Roman Wilson. Just 1,200 and hope for the best. His projected two mean points. Another Warren. There's a lot of Warren lineups. The highest rated lineups we have right now have Jaylen Warren in the captain. But let's say you wanted to play an Aaron Rodgers captain lineup. Like we saw, there was like barely anything. There was 1. Well, what do those lineups look like? How do they rate out? So I could lock players. I could boost and dock players if I want. Up and down them, right? But you could also lock and exclude players. So let's say I wanted to lock Aaron Rodgers in the captain spot. What do those lineups look like? So instead of running 150, I'll run like 20. And what do they rate? I mean, how many good lineups are there? There may not be as many. I mean, likely there aren't, because when we ran 150, only 1 lineup came up. Right? SimLabs rating 83, 81, 77. I mean, some of these they're okay. Rodgers, Metcalf, Warren, Smith, Chase Brown, Noah Fant. Yep, I mean, it makes sense. Right, here's a 5-1. Rodgers, Metcalf, Warren, Smith, Darnell Washington, and then T. Higgins as the only Bengal. Yeah, these lineups make sense. Typically, if you're going to play Aaron Rodgers in the captain, for common sense would say that it's not a rushing quarterback. Yeah, if he's going to be the highest scorer on the entire slate at his price, probably has to throw for 3 touchdowns, probably has to throw for 300 yards. So you're probably pairing him up with multiple pass catchers, right? Metcalf, Jonnu Smith. I mean, Jaylen Warren obviously can catch balls out of the backfield. Here, Rodgers, Metcalf, Warren, Smith, Darnell Washington. Rodgers, Metcalf, Boswell, Washington. Rodgers, Metcalf, Warren, Gainwell, Jonnu Smith, and Samaje Perine on the other side. 1,700 remaining. This lineup ain't gonna be duped much. Right, but you can see here with the peon, the rating for the ownership. These lineups are not going to be very, very high owned. But also going to be low. They're lower projected. I mean, I just see right here. So this is what you would do. Just not like, oh, well, Aaron Rodgers' captain lineups did not come up in the top 150, so you shouldn't play him at all. It's like, no, there's still plenty of plus EV Aaron Rodgers captain lineups. It just means that there aren't as many of them, and by a small margin, there aren't many in the top 150. I mean, you could play like the top 1,000 lineups in this and still be fine. That's why the difference is SimLabs rating 83 versus like 92 is about this much. Can you even see it? Can you even see it? I consider any lineup out of SimLabs at 70 plus to be fine. Perfectly fine. Once you get below 70, then it kind of peters out from there. But anything that the SimLabs says is 70 plus, I mean, sure. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, once you get down to 54, when you start seeing red bars and all this kind of crap here, right? You're playing Rodgers, Pittsburgh defense. The Rodgers captain by himself with the Pittsburgh defense, the flex, Jamar Chase, Joe Flacco, Fant, and Yoshibis. Yeah, this probably is not a very good lineup. The only reason why it's showing up in SimLabs is because I told it to give me 20 lineups. So by the time it's given me like 10, 11 lineups, it's like, well, these lineups really aren't that good. These lineups are low rated, but you asked for 20, so I'm going to give you 20. Then you could also do stuff like, well, if you want to exclude players, let's say Jaylen Warren is going to be in the captain spot. You want to have lineups that don't have Jaylen Warren in it, and you want to lock in, let's say, Kenny Gainwell, but only in the flex, right? So let's say you don't want to have Warren. You want to lock in Kenny Gainwell. You don't want to have Rodgers in the captain or Rodgers in the flex. Can we do that? Rodgers. Can we get this? Okay, there we go. Right. So no Rodgers, no Warren, but we want to lock in Kenny Gainwell. What do these lineups look like? I don't know. Well, that's why we do it. All right. So let's see. Let's put 20 lineups. So we're playing for the instance that Kenny Gainwell goes nuts or something, and Rodgers is an optimal. So here's Gainwell, Boswell, and then these are mostly going to be Bengals lineups, right? I mean, look, Gainwell, Pittsburgh defense, Gainwell, Jonnu Smith, Gainwell, Boswell. But I mean, this lineup rates out well, right? Chase Brown in the captain with Chase, Flacco, Noah Fant, Kenny Gainwell, Chris Boswell. A lot of field goals. And Kenny Gainwell has like 2 touchdowns. Here's one Chase in the captain, Flacco, Brown, Noah Fant, Kenny Gainwell, Jonnu Smith. I mean, these lineups are viable. A little bit more contrarian, but still viable. There you go, and you could choose. I could save some of these. Here's one that leaves 2,200 on the table. Play 2 tight ends. I mean, this is probably not going to be. I don't even know if this would be duped at all. Leaving 2,200. Once or twice. But this is what you use SimLabs for. Or what construction do you want? I mean, our Sims seems to favor Jaylen Warren captain lineups more so than anyone else. So you could lock that in. You could go, okay, I want to play Jaylen Warren captain lineup. Okay, and I'm going to exclude maybe Aaron Rodgers. Play Jaylen Warren captain lineup. And then you could make any choices you want from here. I mean, you could search through, or you could say, okay, I want to find a lineup that has Jaylen Warren in the captain, Boswell. I want a Jaylen Warren Boswell lineup with no Aaron Rodgers, and one with Noah Fant, and at least Noah Fant in the whatever. So I'm looking for a Warren, Boswell, Fant, non-Rodgers lineup, and then just put in 20, and then see. There we go. First lineup, 96 rated. Warren, it's the lineup from before, right? Warren in the captain, Gainwell, Boswell, Chase, Flacco, Fant. You do that. Or this one over here, leaving 1,200 on the table. Warren, Pittsburgh defense, Chris Boswell, Flacco, Chase, Fant. Like this is leaving 1,200 on the table. This rates out very well. Right. Well, I mean, they're very similar. Obviously, we put in, I don't want Rodgers, and I put in 3 of the same people. So yeah, it's going to be very similar lineups. And you could choose one from here. Right. Here's Warren in the captain, Boswell kicker, and then you could play four Bengals, including Evan McPherson, two kicker lineup, leaving 2,000 on the table. I think this is a slate where you could leave a ton of money on the table. Leaving 3,000. Look, these lineups are rated like 95, 94. You leave 3,000. Look, this lineup leaves 3,000 on the table. Warren, Boswell, Jonnu, Chase, Flacco, Fant. Does it seem like you're missing anyone? I mean, outside of what? Metcalf, Higgins, Rodgers? But I mean, who says that any of these people, like, who says Higgins could easily, I mean, what's the prop on him? I mean, he could easily just go like 4 for 45 and that's it. That's it. Or DK Metcalf could score no touchdown. Maybe he goes 6 for 72. 13.2 points. And that's it. That's it. Are you going to need that at 10.4K? Who says? Right, Aaron Rodgers is easily just 190 passing yards, 1 touchdown. And that's it. It's probably not going to be that exciting of a game. Right? But I think the points just get good. The points are much more likely to get spread out in this game than necessarily just go to one person. If it goes to one person, it's probably Jamar Chase. If anyone, but I mean, he could easily just have a 8 for 75 game, and that's it. No touchdowns. Which is still 15.5 points. It'd probably be one of the top scores on the slate, but not like some ridiculous score that you need. It's kind of easy. If you like Andre Yoshevich could have 2 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown. And there you go. That's 11 points. That's something, that any of these other top guys could end up with barely any more points than that. So I wouldn't be that scared about leaving money on the table. I mean, look, this lineup leaves 3,000 on the table. It projects close enough to all these other lineups that don't leave money on the table, and it rates out high. So you could play any of these lineups. And then a lot of the lineups that use all the salary or most of the salary are going to get way more duplicated than they should. When these lineups that leave 1, 2, 3,000 on the table actually have higher ratings than the lineups that don't leave any money on the table. That would be my suggestion. But that's what SimLabs says today for Thursday night football. The Steelers at the Bengals. And if you want to get SimLabs, it's part of a RotoGrinders subscription. Combo Light, you get full access to SimLabs for the 4 major sports: NFL, NBA, PGA, MLB. You get our research tools like Plate IQ, Court IQ, Gridiron IQ, Weather Edge. All of our written content, premium written content, the consensus value rankings, the expert surveys, all of our write-ups, stuff like that. You get all of it for the 4 major sports, Combo Light. Or you get Combo Pro, which you get everything for everything, right? You get every if you want college football and soccer and WNBA and NHL and everything like that. You get SimLabs for all of them. You get Lineup HQ. You get the apps. You get the player projections. You could download the stuff, do props or whatever. That's what the Combo Pro. So go click on the link in the description and find out more information about that. But it's free. Hitting that like button. Give me that thumb button. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. And hit the notification bell to know when we go live. We got a pre-lock show, 7:30 p.m. Eastern for Thursday night football. Steelers at Bengals. I'll see you next week with another NFL SimLabs analysis here on RotoGrinders.com.